Okay, linear equations, how do you make them? Good question. Okay, so we need to find the linear equation. It goes through these 2 points, negative 522 and 414, negative 14. Always, first thing you got to do is find a slope because we're going to plug it into the slope-intercept form. There's other ways to figure this out, but this is the most handy by far. Slope-intercept. M stands for slope. The B stands for the y-intercept. In other words, that's where it crosses the y-axis. But slope equals the ratio of the difference between the y values, right? Negative 14 minus 22. And then that's the numerator. The denominator is the difference in the x values. Make sure you start with the same one that you did on top. So 4 minus negative 5. Do a little bit of math. A little bit more math. So we got a slope of negative 4. We're going to replace that with the m. So now we have almost all of it, right? The y and the x, they're just going to stay there because this is what we call a general formula, general equation. And as we know, there's an infinite number of points or solutions that can go into this equation that would still be on this line. That's why we leave the x and the y as they are. We don't change them for a general linear equation. But now we need to figure out what b is. So what you do is you take a point, any point. I'm just going to take this one. Either would work. You will get the same answer. But now we know what x and y are at this point. So we're going to substitute this x and that y into that formula only to solve for b. We don't know where it crosses the y-intercept. So instead of y, we're going to plug in 22. Bam. Instead of x, we're going to plug in negative 5. Bam, bam. And just do some math. Do a little bit more math. And b equals 2. So that's our y-intercept. And to graph that bad boy, it would go like this, right? This number right here, y-intercept, that tells you where to go on the y. There's a point on that line. Automatic, easy. And then the slope tells you to go negative 4 is the same as negative 4 over positive 1. So positive 1 on the x means for every unit you go over 1, you're going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's a negative, right? A negative 4. So that's a negative slope, and you would connect the line through there. So the equation of that line would be y equals negative 4x plus 2. A few things that you need to remember is if you have a vertical line, you'll notice it never touches the y-axis. So this equation to this line is simply going to be x equals negative 3. That's the only point it hits through the x-axis. And conversely, or just the other way, if you have a vertical line, a horizontal line that goes strictly through, one point, that equation of that line is simply whatever the y is. So y equals 2, and that's it. So hope you liked them. MGZ out.